and now it's going to the dogs. But today, the Senate we have is a National Assembly bill.
In fact, for 5 years, we invited ministers not more than 5 times.
Yes. And we were there and we did the best to bring the foundation. But this Senate has decided they know how to speak good English than any other person. But they forgot when they went to represent us for county governments, it was meant for Mwanainchi who doesn't want to understand English, but understand service. But if you tell the Senate to go back home and speak something different and ask him what is happening just on his doorstep, whether that family has gotten a patient who is sick, he has no idea. He has no, in his own county, he has not done even monitoring and evaluation to understand how many people are sick of the chronic diseases we have. Yet that is the key function that went devolved 98%. So as I finalize, Mr. Speaker, this thing of roads, as in Nairobi, first of all, you cannot bring us Maram. So while you bring this, you should know, as we tarmac, and all counties must start tarmacking, monies that come from national government must be used to tarmac roads, not to make some, I don't know what road, no. We must be serious about this and we must stop this misuse. And I am pleading with counties, awaken yourselves. 15 years, you are supposed now to be showing us which counties are stronger than others and which are able to now sustain themselves without the national government. I beg to support and thank you, Mr. Speaker.
GK.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to support the mediated bill. Honorable Speaker, I was one of the mediators, and we indeed supported the 415 billion because we firmly believe in decentralization, in the principle of decentralization of resources. Honorable Speaker, the county governments that we have today, it is my opinion that we need to look into this system of devolution. We need to reform it because, Honorable Speaker, we formed this devolution because we want to, or we wanted to achieve a flourishing society, what is called in Greek eudaimonia. And Honorable Speaker, the achievement of a flourishing society comes when we focus on human development index of our country, that is education, health, and the standards of living for our people. But Honorable Speaker, this is not what is happening. This is not what is happening in our counties. We are seeing a lot of wastage of resources. We are seeing a lot of misuse of opportunities where our people should be benefiting. We are not seeing that happening, Honorable Speaker. And for that reason, Honorable Speaker, I want to support my colleagues in calling upon our governors to ensure that the resources we appropriate here are used for the right reason. Honorable Speaker, I support, but I want to caution our friends, our governors, to do what is right and ensure that our people are well taken care of in terms of addressing the needs of our society. Honorable Speaker, I support.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I support this mediated version of the bill, and I congratulate the team. Mr. Speaker, those of us who are lawyers know that even in law, we are moving from confrontation, from litigation to mediation. So mediation is a good thing. Here, we have this mediation because we are obligated by the Constitution. But we should encourage ourselves as a House, the Senate, the Council of Governors, that instead of litigating all the time, we should endeavor to mediate what we perceive to be our differences. As a National Assembly, we have been greatly restrained in litigation. In fact, of about 36 cases that I've counted, I think virtually all of them.
We are defendants.
Yes, we are defendants. Yes. They have been initiated either by the Senate or the Council of Governors. So I urge the Senate and the Council of Governors to take that cue, that instead of running to the court, we should try and mediate our issues. In fact, it looks very untidy to a Kenyan that the Constitution says there is the Parliament of Kenya. And then you have the Parliament of Kenya suing the Parliament of Kenya. It's actually an oxymoron. And it is something really to be discouraged. And in it, we must understand that even though the Constitution creates institutions that are independent, they are also interdependent. And that independent must not be taken to its illogical conclusion. We need not be antagonistic all the time. We can actually sit and discuss and agree. Because in fact, if we were to take the hard stance all the time, this House would actually emerge the victor. But I think this House has purposefully taken a step back for the betterment of the nation. Mr. Speaker, it is a good thing that we were able and we are navigating even the issue of the road maintenance levy. And as elected yesterday, Mr. Speaker, we'll be having a Kamukunji on it on Tuesday. And as directed by the court, we'll be considering the Kenya Roads Act, Section 6 and 47. I believe that when we look at it, there are two things we are required to look at, and we ought to look at. One is the question of percentages, because the court cannot determine for us how much to allocate, but the court can only encourage that do not exclude. And we will be talking percentages. But I think that we should go beyond percentages and we should talk of purpose. If we appropriate a certain percentage of road maintenance levy fund to the county, for what purpose? It cannot be for purposes of constructing the footpath next to my home. I think it is now time to consider, because I think we're all suffering. While we can usually engage with KERA to try and do some maram roads here and there, all tarmac roads, the few that may have been done, are all being now wiped out. So we should now restrict anything that is allocated to the counties to the low volume tarmac in the urban areas within our constituencies. That way we can see what is being done. And that is very important, Mr. Speaker, because, for example, take two examples that are totally devolved. Health. Many of the counties would rush to construct health facilities because that's easy politically, but then not put any drugs because that's expensive and it is not visible. Many of the counties would rush to put a sports facility because that's visible, but not invest in the sports equipment or in the sports tournament. The idea of sports was removed from CDF and none of us is now involved. And you'll realize that in the whole country now, you do not find sports tournaments. You know, so development of top sports talents then just dies like that. I'd like to finish, Mr. Speaker, by saying, in the context of all this is the question of NGCDF. And as Mr. Speaker directed, next week we are discussing this matter, especially the constitutional amendments, and then we go on recess. I would like to urge members at this point to plan for next week so that you are pleased here. It would be a very unfortunate situation if we get to next week when we are supposed to read 2/3 and then we hear some members are in their constituencies, some members are abroad, some members are in their offices, some members are in all sorts of other businesses that usually engage members of parliament, but this is much more fundamental. I support, Mr. Speaker.
Osoro, the last one on this side.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker also rise to support the mediated version of the Division of Revenue Bill, Honorable Speaker. And I congratulate the teams, both the Senate team and the National Assembly, for coming up with an amicable solution, because in my engagement with the honorable members, both from both sides, I realized there was push and pull, and it really took a lot of effort and utmost wisdom and maturity to even get to that level of 415. Because initially they had even stuck at 425 without the VAT, Honorable Speaker. But Honorable Speaker, even as we get to this point every time, because it's now becoming a norm that year in, year out, there is an allocate, the county governments are allocated some substantial amount of money for development. And of course, at the end of it all, we of course get to this level of engagement and everything between these two houses. With the way the Senate defends, Honorable Speaker, with the way the Senate defends this allocation or the Division of Revenue Bill, and even the way they push for higher allocation to the counties, I wish the same vigor was used to follow the money and see what it does in the counties, Honorable Speaker. Because it is very unfortunate, extremely unfortunate, and we really must remind them every time that over 10 years post devolution, Honorable Speaker, we really haven't reached to the level where the drafters of the Constitution envisioned us to reach, Honorable Speaker. And you'll always see, members of Parliament are still being approached to do and work for the people on the issues, Honorable Speaker, that are supposed to be handled by the county governments. Because unless utmost civic education is done to the members of the public to get to know what members of the National Assembly are supposed to do under Article 95 and 96, and what the county governors are supposed to do. Because sometimes, Honorable Speaker, we are approached by people whenever we visit our constituencies, asked about water, asked about the hospitals, asked about feeder roads. We asked about everything. And then we tell them, Honorable Speaker, that this is supposed to be done by the county governments or the governors. We are told, we are the ones, you are the one we elected. We do not know this governor. We do not know this MCA. You are the one who wants to do this and this and this. And sometimes it really becomes a bit of a challenge. But even more important, Honorable Speaker, there has been a pro rata growth or, gradual growth of this allocation from 370, we go to about 380, 385 all through. Now we are at 415. Honorable Speaker, where does this money go to? Where does it go to? We know it gets to the counties, but what does it do? Honorable Speaker, move around the counties across the country. You know their roles, you know what they're supposed to do. It's about the ECD classrooms, you will see challenges. It's about, when you talk about the feeder roads, you will see challenges. In fact, Honorable Speaker, yesterday I was engaging one senator who was in the mediation team, Honorable Speaker. And he confided in me by telling me, Honorable Speaker, that even after pushing for this allocation, we know that out of about 447 governors, it's about 3 of them who are working. Then I asked him then, why then are you pushing for 430? Said, they were just enriching them. It is quite sad. Honorable Speaker, nowadays, what this money is used for will surprise you. It's only meant to create a group of people, who are on pay a year every month that move around with the governors, Honorable Speaker, to funerals or to public functions as cheer squads, and they move. You'll actually notice even the standing position is the same. They move from this area. When the governor moves to this, they go with them. They in a church, they go with them. When they move to the funeral, they go with them. And their work is just one. Their job description is one. Cheer us whenever we stand to speak so that everybody will think we are popular. Funds, and the responsibilities will be limited to that area. The concentrated area of development will be within that jurisdiction. Because this thing is not happening. Roads are pathetic. When you saw them the other day, Honorable Speaker, engaging us over the RMLF, and we had a meeting which yours truly, you sent us, Honorable Speaker, to engage them the other time. We took 4 hours, Honorable Speaker, to debate about 10 billion shillings. We took 4 hours and we couldn't agree. In fact, they go to a point of saying, you know, you guys, if you do not want to, we'll even close. They threatened us of closing down the counties and downing down the tools. And we told them, we will not feel your effect. Even on your operating, we don't feel you. So closing down still, it's inconsequential. And that is why we are promoting the culture of goonism by sending a lot of money just to create goons from this corner to this corner. And I've always said, and I'll still repeat, Honorable Speaker, that you will see when you move around the country, you will see what NGAF does, you will see what NGCDF does. All over in the public eye, you will see thanks by the gracious ladies from this house, all over being distributed. You will see them doing a lot of bursaries with a meager amount of money, Honorable Speaker, about 40-something million. But Honorable Speaker, in the billions that the county governments get, you will need a microscope to identify one thing, just one thing, that this county has done this county has done this county has done this. All you see, Honorable Speaker, is a group of people moving around with a convoy of 30, 40 vehicles to one function. And I've always said this, one carrying a podium, another one carrying a chair, another one carrying a carpet, another one carrying a toilet, another one carrying I don't know what. And when they go there, all they want to hear about a queue of all long people saying, oh, Your Excellency, calling. How do you call excellencies? People don't work. They are doing nothing. Stop calling them excellencies. Honorable Speaker, we need to empower the county assemblies. It's about time we rethink how we can be able to empower the county assemblies so that we have a replica of what we have, and they enjoy autonomy of having perhaps ward development funds, so that other than enriching one person who is in charge, that you have to be who is creating a demigod of themselves, within themselves, that if they disagree with you, they'll mess up with your life. You'll not even sleep in your house. They'll send you goons. It is becoming very sad. And even the Senate, we want to tell the Senate, Honorable Speaker, we want to tell the Senate, I don't know what the Honorable Tiana Volo is saying, but we also want to inform the Senate, please do your work. Your work is to oversight the county governments. What place do you have inviting on matters national security, inviting a minister, inviting so and so for theatrics, yet you cannot reprimand them, you cannot impeach, you cannot invoke an impeachment motion, you can do nothing. What is your interest? Do your work. Your work is to oversight county governments. And you really have to care about security of the Kenyans across, then invite Kanjo to your places of in your house, and then ask them, why do you use rungus moving around and everything? Because that is that is your work. Stop these things of, fighting for, recognition, when you know very well you're playing to the public gallery. You know very well you are simply whipping emotions and telling, we are the upper house, we can engage the minister, we can engage you know very well you have no reprimanding power. You have no power to even call for a motion of impeachment against anybody within the national government. So we urge the Senate to put their feet down and be strong and be firm against the county governments or against those governors who are stealing. And it's actually, Honorable Speaker, about time we ask them, amidst the questions they ask through the PSC, through the PIC of the Senate, what further step do they take to make sure that that fund is guarded? Because all we see is theatrics. A governor comes, sometimes they answer questions their way, and they are told, just go, it's played all over on TV and everywhere, and it then ends there. Honorable Speaker, it is very, very sad. Kenyans are losing a lot of money. We need to find a way to make sure that this money is followed back to the grassroots. We see what happens so that, Honorable Speaker, we can be able to get value for money and for the taxes that Kenyans pay. With those many remarks, Honorable Speaker, I still have the 14, but I wish it was reduced to 200. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Oundo, you're the last on this side.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, let me also join my colleagues in supporting.
Okay, Oundo, share your 5 minutes with Kainan.
I'll do 2 minutes. I'll do 3 minutes and then give him 2. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
I said 3.
Oh, fine. Honorable Speaker, let me also join my colleagues in supporting the allocation of 415 billion to the counties with a lot of reservations. I do not want to echo what my colleagues have said, But the intention of devolution was indeed to have successful development in all parts of this country. During the 1980s, we had so many issues about balanced development. We expected devolution, now almost in the 15th year, to have changed the rural landscape considerably. Honorable Speaker, as we stand today, many of the places in this country have not seen or appreciated the effects or the impact of devolution. As we stand here today, Honorable Speaker, yes, there are a few billionaires that have been created in counties, but many other people are wallowing in poverty, are wallowing in depression, are wallowing in very many challenges, Honorable Speaker. Medical is a very major issue, Honorable Speaker. We request that as we move forward, we call upon the Senate that the biggest letdown in the war of, in issues of devolution. You are a senior member. Those who are you have served you as your colleagues. Probably find the time one of these days, invite them for a cup of tea and tell them the missing link in the improved performance of county governments is essentially the Senate. With those very few remarks, Honorable Speaker, I support.
Kainan,
Speaker, I will reluctantly contribute because I know some of us are on retainers here. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, we have been around.
order, Honorable Kainan. Either you contribute or you don't.
I did not mention anybody. I said some of us are on retainers here. And if you want, I will mention.
Order, Honorable Kainan. You are out of order.
Mr.
You wanted to contribute, contribute.
Mr. Speaker, you know I've contributed many times, so if I
ahead.
don't
Go
contribute,
ahead.
it will not be an issue.
Order, Honorable Kainan. I have bestowed you the title of the Father of the House because of your longevity. And the least I expect from you is to mentor these young members by being courteous, even under stress, by being friendly, even under stress, and by showing the best example, even under stress. That's what we expect from you. And we expect you, Farah Maalim, the seniors. We have young members here who sit and wait to see what is Farah going to say, what is Kainan going to say, what is Bukose going to say, and encourage you to enter these young members. Those of you who sat with me in the houses, both here and the other house, I provided mentorship unconditionally. And at no time should any one of you sit back and think that you have the right to speak over any other. We are all equal. And when we give you preference because of your seniority, take it with grace and speak with grace and end with grace. Go ahead.
You can give it to somebody else.
Zamzam.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika kwa fursa hii. Na mimi pia nilikuwa mmoja katika wale wanakamati ambao tulikuwa tunafanya maelewano katika bill hii ambayo ilikuwa imeletwa katika hii bunge, Mheshimiwa Spika. Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi kwanza nataka nichukue fursa hii niweze kupongeza kamati andalizi ambaye imefanya mikakati, ilikuwa si rahisi. Tuliweza kuwa na sintofahamu hapa na pale, lakini mwisho tukaweza kuafikiana, Mheshimiwa Spika. Na ugatuzi katika taifa hili, Mheshimiwa Spika, ulikuja ili kuweza kufikisha huduma kwa wananchi wa chini, Mheshimiwa Spika. Na maana ya hii kamati ilikuwa ni kuweza kuangalia kuwa ugavi wa rasilimali katika baina ya serikali kuu na serikali za ugatuzi zinaweza kuangaliwa vizuri, Mheshimiwa Spika. Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi nataka niseme hivi. Kwa sasa serikali za ugatuzi ama county governments tumewapa ongezeko katika mgao wenu. Ile kitu naomba kama mama county ama mmoja katika wale wa kamati, muhakikishe kuwa huduma zinafikia wananchi, na hasa katika matibabu na hospitali zetu. Mheshimiwa Spika, unapata mgonjwa ameingia hospitali, Mheshimiwa Spika, katika ICU, mgonjwa anakufa kwa sababu ile mashine wanasema imezimika ama wanasema kuwa haifanyi kazi. Na mimi nataka nizungumze, hasa nikiweza kuzungumza katika kaunti yangu, niweze kusema kama mama kaunti nimejibidisha kuhakikisha muongezeko umekuja katika kaunti ya Mombasa na kaunti zingine za Kenya, Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa hiyo kitu ambacho nahitaji kutoka kwa magavana ni kuhakikisha kuwa huduma na hata zile barabara, manake kutoka 405 billion tumeweza kusukuma, tumefika 415 billion, na kisha kuna bilioni 55 ile ambayo ilikuwa upande wa barabara, kuna bilioni 10 ambayo ni equalization fund. Hizi pesa zote katika zile ambazo walikuwa wametaka bilioni 450 hata zimeongezeka, zimefika kama bilioni 485. Kwa hiyo kitu ambacho tunataka kaunti, hatutaki kuona mgonjwa anaingia, mama anajifungua, mtoto analipishwa, mama analipishwa, inakuwa ni wizi, Mheshimiwa Spika, ama ni dhulma. Hatutaki kuona kuwa wagonjwa wanaingia hospitali hakuna madawa, wakati ambapo juzi na jana tumeona mkutano pale walipokuwa na KEMSA, imebainika kuwa 90 billion imepotea kwa sababu madawa zili expire, Mheshimiwa Spika, na Wakenya wanakosa madawa katika hospitali, Mheshimiwa Spika. Mheshimiwa Spika, ukiangalia barabara zile zinazojengwa kule mashinani, Mheshimiwa Spika, unapata barabara zinawekwa patches, vinawekwa vitambara, barabara haijengwi vizuri kwa sababu kuna mtu amekaa mahali anajua nitajenga barabara vibaya, kesho na kesho kutwa pesa zingine zitakuja ni zetu hizi. Tumekuwa tukipoteza pesa nyingi sana, na Wakenya wanaangalia. Tuna vijana, tuna kina mama ambao wanaangalia huduma gani na kuja mashinani, na kama alivyosema ndugu yangu Osoro, Mheshimiwa Spika, kina mama 47, licha ya kuwa tunapata mgao mdogo sana, milioni kama Mombasa milioni 46, lakini juzi mmeona nikiempower mpaka bodaboda, nimewapa bodaboda 40, Mheshimiwa Spika. Hiyo pesa kidogo, vijana wanafurahi. Ukiangalia kina mama wanapata pesa ya kuwezesha kufanya biashara. Mimi naomba counties muna pesa ya kuweza kupatia vijana na kina mama ambayo inaitwa revolving fund. Hizi pesa nyingi hazifiki mashinani, Mheshimiwa Spika. Huu ni mwaka wa 3 tukiangalia, na kina mama wanataka biashara, kina vijana wanataka kufanya biashara, wanafanya. Serikali ya taifa inaweza kulemezwa kila wakati. Rais analaumiwa wakati kuna viongozi ambao wamepewa nafasi yao kuweza kufanya kazi na hawafanyi kazi. Mimi nataka niseme hizi pesa tumewapa, tunataka mjenge ECD classes. Kuna wengine tuliona hata senator alifanya oversight, akatoa ripoti yake, Mheshimiwa Spika, imebainisha kuwa kuna wakati shule inaandikwa kuwa imejengwa na milioni 100, ukiingia ground hakuna skuli, Mheshimiwa Spika. Na mimi nataka kuambia governors, zile kesi mmetupelekea kule kotini, kesi nyingi sisi tumekuwa defendants kila siku, wakati ambapo nyinyi wenyewe mmezembea kazini. Tumewapa pesa kwa sababu tumeheshimu kauli ya baba yetu Raila Amolo Odinga akisema ugatuzi uweze kuimarishwa. Tumeheshimu, nimekuwa mmoja katika wale ambao tumewapa hizi pesa, na sisi tunataka muonyeshe heshima kwa mzee Raila Amolo Odinga kuwa pesa mmepata na kazi mnafanya, sio wizi ndani ya counties, Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa hiyo namalizia nikisema ugatuzi unaheshimika, pesa tumewapa, na nyinyi pia muheshimu bunge hili, msiwe watu wa kuingilia mambo ya ngafu, kuingilia mambo ya NGCDF, mnakuwa na tamaa ya hapa na pale. Na senators, nyinyi mmekuwa kama oversighters wa kule county. Acheni kupewa vipeni vidogo vidogo, mkija mnataka kulemeza kila kitu katika taifa, mkitetea counties. Counties tumewapa pesa, kwa hiyo wafanye kazi, tutataka kuona kazi yao. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika.
Yes, mover.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, let me take this opportunity to thank members of this House who have made their contributions on this very important bill. Honorable Speaker, this bill is very, very important in the budget process. But without the passage of this bill, we are not even able to appropriate. So, Honorable Speaker, with the support that I've received from the members and the contributions you have made, I believe that governors have listened to this House and they have listened to the concerns of this House, that this House expects governors to restrict themselves to their mandate and develop counties with the resources they've been given. I also would like to join members who are asking the Senate to undertake the oversight responsibilities. Honorable Speaker, my observation is that the Senate is composed of very many young legislators. I would like to urge some of those young senators to come to National Assembly, because I think Senate they are misusing the Senate. The things they are doing in the Senate, they should come and do them here in the National Assembly. Honorable Speaker, with those many remarks, I beg to reply.
Order, David, take your seat. Honorable members, I'll now put the question at order number 13, which is that pursuant the provisions of Article 113(2) of the Constitution and Standing Order 153, this House adopts the report of the Mediation Committee on the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bill number 10 of 2025, laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 18th June 2025, and approves the mediated version of the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bill number 10 of 2025. As members of that opinion say aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order. At order number 14, honorable members, on the request of the majority leader and agreement of the chair budget and approval of the speaker, we'll go to committee on appropriation bill and stay equalization fund appropriation bill to a later date, maybe next week. Next order.
Order number 14, Committee of the Whole House.
Can I call? Order, members. We are now in the Committee of the Whole House for the Appropriation Bill, National Assembly Bill number 23 of 2025.
Clause 3.
Order, members. I propose the question that clause 3 be part of the bill. There's no amendment. I put the question that clause 3 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 4.
I propose the question that clause 4 be part of the bill. Mover, majority leader. Is it? Just take it again.
New clause 4.
New clause. Mover to move the second reading.
Sorry, Honorable Chair, we're consulting with the chair, and I wish to drop that particular amendment, having consulted with the chair on the way forward.
Very well. The new clause 4 is dropped on record.
Schedule.
Honorable members, I propose the question that the schedule be the schedule of the bill. Mover, you have an amendment?
Yes. Yes. Honorable Chair, I move that the bill be amended by deleting the schedule and substituting thereof the following new schedule, which is in the order paper. Honorable Chair, members are aware that there was recent changes in government where the president pronounced himself through a new executive order. That order has occasioned the organization of the budget to reflect the realities of government. And therefore, we have a new schedule that is capturing all the changes that are contained in the executive order. Thank you.
Very well. Honorable Elachi, are you on this? No. Your card is in the intervention. Okay. I will therefore propose the question that the schedule be amended as proposed by the chair. I put the question that the schedule be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 2.
I propose the question that clause 2 be part of the bill. There is a proposed amendment, Chair.
Thank you. That clause 2 of the bill be amended by deleting the words 1,877,366,830,829 and substituting thereof the words 1,549,759,302. Honorable Chair, because of the changes that were occasioned by the new executive order, there is an increase in the exchequer vote by 150 million and a reduction in the appropriation in aid by the similar amount. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I propose that clause 2 be amended as proposed by the chair. The question that clause 2 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 2 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Title.
I propose the question that the title be the title of the bill. I put the question that the title be the title of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 1.
I propose the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable members, that was a very short call. We'll call up the mover to move, yes, to move reporting.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the appropriation bill, National Assembly Bill number 23 of 2025, and its approval thereof with amendments.
I put the question, which the committee do report to the House, its consideration of the appropriation bill, National Assembly Bill number 23 of 2025, and its approval thereof with amendments. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
The chairperson to report to the House.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole House has considered the appropriation bill, National Assembly Bill number 23 of 2025 and approve the same with amendments.
Fair enough. The mover of the bill to move
Honorable
agreement to the report.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. I also request Honorable Dr. Pukose to second the motion for agreement with the report of the Committee of the Whole House.
Honorable Speaker, I second.
Honorable members, I now propose the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. Honorable members, I now put the question, the House do agree with the committee in the said report. As many of that opinion say aye. Aye. As many of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. The mover of the bill.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the Appropriations Bill, National Assembly Bill number 23 of 2025, be now read a third time. I also request Honorable Dr. Pukose to second.
Honorable Speaker, I second.
Honorable members, I now propose a question, which is that the Appropriation Bill, National Assembly Bill number 23 of 2025, be now read a third time. Honorable members, I now put the question for the third reading. I have confirmed that the House is properly constituted for the purpose of making a decision. I therefore put the question, which is that the Appropriation Bill, National Assembly Bill number 23 of 2025, be now read a third time. As many of that opinion say aye. Aye. As many of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to authorize the issuance of a sum of money out of the consolidated fund and its application towards the service of the year ending on the 30th of June 2026, and to appropriate that sum and a sum voted on account by the National Assembly for certain public services and purposes.
Next order. Order number 15.
Order number 15, special motion, consideration of nominees for appointments to the Public Benefit Organization Dispute Tribunal.
The chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs, Honorable Murugara.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, allow me to move that, taking into consideration the findings of the Departmental Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs in its report on the approval hearings of nominees for appointment as the chairperson and members of the Public Benefit Organization Dispute Tribunal, laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 17th June 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Section 50 of the Public Benefit Organization Tribunal Act 2013 and Sections 3 and 8 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act, Chapter 7F of the Laws of Kenya, approves the appointment of the following persons to the Public Benefit Organization Dispute Tribunal, namely, number one, Ms. Eunice Adoyo Otieno Aroa as the chairperson, Ms. Christabel Mideva Eboso, member, Ms. Elizabeth Mbithe-Mulwa, member, Dr. Leonard Kinyulusi, member, and Mr. Mohammed Sheikh Nur, member. Honorable Speaker, on the 17th of June 2025, on behalf of the JLAC Committee, I tabled a report of the approval hearings signed on the same day. I also implored upon members to obtain a copy of that report so that they acquaint themselves with it and are able to contribute positively regarding the proposal that these 5 nominees be approved to this tribunal. Be it go on record that under Section 50 of the Parent Act, curiously, it is required that this House approves members to sit in that tribunal. And I say curiously because it is not usual for the House to approve members to sit in tribunals, especially where, under the Constitution, the tribunals are part of the judiciary. Number two, these nominees were actually interviewed by a panel chaired by the Chief Justice, and the approval was given. Therefore, we may need to reconsider our law. What purpose does it serve for the National Assembly to approve these tribunals? And is there room for rejection? And if there is room for rejection, what will be the grounds for that rejection? I leave that for now. To submit that the report we actually tabled is elaborate. It covers all the hearings of the 5 nominees, and I would urge members who have not read it to read it so that we do not have to spend a lot of time on the report. The first person to be nominated was Ms. Eunice Adoyo Otieno Aroa, who is aged 52 years and is proposed to be the chairperson. This is assistant advocate who actually satisfied all the constitutional requirements as regards the ability to sit as the chairperson. Academic background, experience, she has sat in several other similar tribunals. All this was positive on the part of Ms. Otieno Aroa to sit as the chairperson for the period appointed. The second person to be vetted was Ms. Christabel Mideva Eboso, a young lady of 32 years. This is the representative of the Gen Z. And it's good to speak positively about her. She's an advocate of the High Court of Kenya and has practiced for quite a while. She has also involved herself in various tribunal matters which give her the necessary experience and qualification to sit as a member of this tribunal. The third person was Ms. Elizabeth Mbithemulwa, aged 41 years, another Gen Z, whom we were pleased to vet because, again, she's an advocate of the High Court of Kenya and fully qualifies to sit as a member of that tribunal. The fourth person was Dr. Leonard Kinyulosi, who is not an advocate. And this is the requirement of the law that 2 of these members need not be advocates. Dr. Kinyulosi is well educated. If you go to the report, especially on him, he has written enormously about various topics, both in law, in social work, and other areas which are required to have dispute resolution. It is that experience that qualified Dr. Kinyulosi to sit in this board. And the last of them was Mr. Mohammed Sheikh Noor, who, again, is not a lawyer, a self-made person from the northern side of Kenya, aged 50 years. He has also actually studied quite a lot in matters social, in matters religious, in matters where disputes arise. And this being the public benefits organizations. And for each of this house, these are what used to be called NGOs. Now they are called public benefit organizations. We were of the opinion that Mr. Mohammed Sheikh Noor suits very well to sit as the 50th member of the tribunal. So we actually had all this in mind when we looked at the procedure of these 5 persons, and that procedure was fully satisfied under the relevant act, the Public Benefits Organization Act. The constitutional and statutory requirements were also fulfilled in that all these nominees satisfied the requirements under the Constitution and all the necessary statutory requirements, including citizenship, leadership, ethics, integrity, and tax compliance. Then we looked at the nominees were able to meet the integrity threshold under Chapter 6 of the Constitution. They all demonstrated knowledge of topical, administrative, and technical issues of the position to which they have been nominated, and they have the requisite abilities, academic qualifications, and the professional experience to be approved for appointment. As regards their suitability of regard to whether the nominees' abilities, experience, and qualities meet the needs of the body which they are nominated, we were able to conclude that the nominees have demonstrated of the affairs of the public benefits organizations, the dispute resolution mechanism, and their respective roles of chairperson and members. And as a general observation, we were convinced as a committee that the PBODT, which is the tribunal itself, is the only tribunal that requires this to look at this afresh to actually confirm whether we should be nominating all members of all tribunals. And I wish to inform the House that we are re-engineering. We are actually going to resubmit. We are going to republish the tribunals bill so that we come up with a tribunals act regarding the various tribunals in the. As we do that, we will consider whether it will be necessary to vet these tribunal members, or we will leave it to the exclusive jurisdiction of the judiciary to have these members sit in those tribunals. Having considered all that, Honorable Speaker, the committee has amended that this House approves Ms. Eunice Adoyo Otieno as the chairperson of the Public Benefits Organization Dispute Tribunal, and also approves Ms. Christabel Mideva Eboso, Ms. Elizabeth Bifemulwa, Dr. Leonard Kinyulosi, and Mr. Mohammed Sheikh Nur to be members of the Public Benefits Organizations Disputes Tribunal. With that, and with a very, very light closing remark, you will notice that age has actually been considered fullest. It's spread across, and that's why we have good words for the Gen Z, because they have in here. Number two, the gender parity, the gender equality, which is a requirement, has been now satisfied in favor of the ladies, because we have 3 ladies sitting in this tribunal and 2 men sitting in the same tribunal. This is a positive step that we actually commend the judiciary for having brought this. Now, with us having called upon the House to approve the appointment of the 5, it is my singular pleasure to invite the member of Kenya nominated, Ms. Zuleka Harun, to second the motion. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. Let me take this opportunity to second the chairman of Justice Legal Affairs Committee and the report that was prepared by the Justice Legal and Affairs Committee on the approval vetting of the members of the Public Benefit Organization Dispute Tribunal. Honorable Chair, the committee has noted that all the nominees have met the statutory requirements. They have also met the academic qualifications, professional experience, and all the requirements under the Act. The nominees have also demonstrated their deep understanding of issues to do with the Public Benefit Organizations Act, Organizations Dispute Tribunal, and as well as conflict resolution mechanisms that they are going to employ in their role as members of the dispute tribunal. Honorable Chair, the thing that excited me in this report more is we always fight for the 2/3 rule in every appointment that is done in this country. However, today we are going to celebrate because we have 3 women out of the 5. Here we have women as the majority preferred. And I also congratulate the Chief Justice who has done justice for our ladies in this country. Number 2, we also have the issue of the youth covered very well. If you look at the age of all the members, we have 3 who fall under the Gen Zs and the millennial bracket. I also want to congratulate them for considering the Gen Zs in their appointment. Gen Zs are not only on the streets, Honorable Speaker, we have serious Gen Zs who are taking part in crucial matters of this country. An example is Ms. Christabel Ebosa, who has done so well in the interview, and until we didn't even get a chance to ask her more questions in the vetting process. So I want to congratulate her on that and all the nominees who have made to this list. As I second, I also want to urge the House to consider these members and congratulations to the committee and the good work they have done. I second, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Honorable members, I now propose a question. Taking into consideration the findings of the Departmental Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs in its report on the approval hearing of nominees for appointment as the chairperson and members of the Public Benefits Organization Dispute Tribunal laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, the 17th June, 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Section 50 of the Public Benefits Organization Dispute Tribunal Act of 2013 and Section 3 and 8 of the Parliamentary Approval Act, Cap 7F, approves the appointment of the following persons to the Public Benefit Organization Dispute Tribunal. Roman 1, Ms. Eunice Adoyo Otieno Arwa, chairperson. Roman 2, Ms. Christabel Mideva Eboso, member. Roman 3, Ms. Elizabeth Mbithe Mulwa, member. Roman 4, Dr. Leonard Kinyulusi, member. And Roman 5, Mr. Mohamed Sheikh Noor, member. Honorable Karemba. Karemba.
Yes, that is the correct pronunciation, Honorable Speaker, and thank you very much. Honorable Speaker, from the onset, I want to start by saying that I support fully this motion on the motion that regarding the appointment of these very diligent Kenyans to this tribunal. And I wish to confirm that, Honorable Speaker, I am a member of the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee under the leadership of the Honorable Muruga, who is a very important assignment. Honorable Speaker, what excites me in this report and in the findings of this report is that the members of this tribunal are very well educated. Apart from that, we have 2 very young members in this report, this tribunal, and who also demonstrated ability in the responsibility that they are just about to assume. And you see, in this country, Honorable Speaker, we have had very many tribunals, commissions, and assignments that have only been very senior citizens in this country. But now, seeing very young people being given opportunities to work in this high-level tribunal now inspires confidence even from the young people of this country that indeed there are opportunities for them when they get the training and the education that is needed of them. Honorable Speaker, also these members are coming from different regions in this republic, meaning that there is a fair distribution of opportunities, and I believe that this is the way to go, and even in the opportunities to come. So, Honorable Speaker, I support.
Fair enough. The Honorable Rindikiri, MP for Buri.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. First, I would like to identify myself with the findings of the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee on their assessment and subsequently presentation of the nominees. Mr. Speaker, tribunals play very great role, especially when there are issues related to disputes. Mr. Speaker, the public benefit organizations are what used to be called non-government organizations. These, Mr. Speaker, are both local and international. And they engage themselves in various activities, education, health. They are also involved in public awareness in various parts of this country. In many cases, Mr. Speaker, you find they are required to adhere to the legal of the country. Mr. Speaker, we used to hear a lot of complaints and tug of wars between NGOs and the government. And many of them, Mr. Speaker, particularly government requires to know where they have come from, what they are doing, what achievement they have gained in the areas where they are operating. In the process, Speaker, we disputes. And becomes because now when these disputes between the government and these NGOs come, there must be somebody to listen to them. Mr. Speaker, many of them requires legal decisions to be made. And also, we need a lot of fairness, of course, when and define legal experts. And that's why I need to identify myself with the nominees. Are they qualified to perform these responsibilities? Mr. Speaker, these are lawyers of good standings, and they are people from very strong background, which to me, they are able to discharge the responsibilities of a tribunal. Mr. Speaker, the committee has looked at their CV, which we have also looked at. There is fairness in terms of the gender sensitivity, which is a requirement in our constitution. And Mr. Speaker, they have combined on all the required age brackets. So from this perspective, Mr. Speaker, I would like to say that the committee has done a good job, and I would like to urge that we support the nomination and confirm them to sit in this very important tribunal. I support the Speaker.
The Honorable Member of Parliament for Ariela.
Mr. Speaker, the nominees are qualified, suitable, and appropriate. I support.
Honorable Elachi Beatrice.
Mr. Speaker, you know, when Senior has said that, he's telling us we finalize. But having said that, Mr. Speaker, is to support and to say that indeed, as the chair has said, I believe that we must appreciate the crucial role and resolving disputes, particularly in special areas. And this is one special area that is very interesting. An area where I know we've had a lot of challenges in how to work together and really harmonize and ensure there's transformation in our people. So, Mr. Speaker, we also appreciate that Article 13C of the Constitution recognizes that the judiciary and the independent tribunals are indeed organs that are given the powers to deal with all the claims and most of the challenges we face in terms of law. So the most important thing is to thank those who applied and to ensure the team now that is coming in, that you're coming in an area that is very crucial, an area where we always have a lot of challenges, especially even challenges of just understanding, and especially the international organizations that we have under this authority that are going to be regulated, that when you come into a country, you come in to enhance and to build trust and to ensure, because you're also spending taxpayers' money that are coming from outside. That person, that citizen in that country that was taxed for the money to come and benefit another citizen would wish to see transformation. And so as I finalize, Mr. Speaker, I also want to really plead that even on all the things that are happening now, we want to work together to have peace in our country. And so even in those organizations, look at your country and remember this is just your country. Work for it. I beg to support.
Very Honorable Sane. Then followed by Honorable Langat. Oh. Oh, I can see the vice chair of this very able committee, Mutuse. You will also have you'll have a go at it. Proceed, Honorable Sane, MP for Wajir North.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Public-private organizations have a wide mandate to perform. Mr. Speaker, I have been a civil society, an employee of the civil society organizations, and they have been doing great work on matters charity, education, humanitarian issues, health, environmental conservation, human rights issues, poverty elevation, a scope that is so wide and deep. However, these PPOs have to behave in a manner, they are expected to be independent, voluntarily in nature, non-partisan, non-profit making, and work for public good. Over the years, we have had issues insofar as them behaving within that required values and principles. Mr. Speaker, Kenya has had problems. Funded to cause in this country. This country was nearly brought down during the Gen Z demonstrations. They have not been partisan as was expected of them, Mr. Speaker. So this tribunal comes at a time when they are required to at least resolve disputes on matters where things have not been done right. I mean, their leadership has been, they are led mostly by leaders who are privileged and who take their schools to top-notch schools. Yet they want Kenyans to suffer at times. Their purpose is mainly getting funds without regard to where the funds shall be used. They are the ones agitating for LBGT, Mr. Speaker. We belong to a moral society, a country that is anchored on recognizing God
and especially the chair, Eunice Adoyo Atieno Arwa, when they take up their responsibility and when they are sworn in, they should represent the entire country, and they should also represent the interest of everybody, because now that they are there on behalf of all of us, on behalf of representing the entire nation. I also want to say that, yes, we are going far because this government is putting a lot of attention to nominating the qualified people for different positions and also representing the entire nation. Mine is just to say, yes, I support the motion, and let them serve the country in the best possible way, as if there's no tomorrow, because we have a lot of responsibilities. We need to give our best to the country, because this is the time that God given all of us to serve this country. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I support.
Honorable members, I get the feeling that there's a concurrence. Oh, yes, you want to contribute. You had not put in your card. Anyway, proceed, Honorable.
Thank you, Speaker. Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, I support this nomination of the tribunal members. Legally, this is a tribunal which can be able to sort out a number of disputes instead of escalating them in the wrong forums. And looking at the characters of the people who have been picked as members of this tribunal, Speaker, you see that they are the most qualified people whom we can say that they are fit to be.
They are not characters. They are eminent personalities.
The personalities. If looking at the person, even characters, when it's put in the right word.
Honorable member.
Speaker, when it's put in the right perspective, it's just describing a person. It's not an insult, neither and the meaning, but it's just a way of describing a people. But I'm saying these nominees of ours, they are the best whom we can say that they are best placed at this time to be where they are positioned now. Having been looked upon by the legal committee and scrutinized and the document verified and shown that they are the most qualified, I hereby support their nomination, taking into account that at this crucial time when we have issues as it relates to the police, the law enforcement officers, and so on, is the right time for them. So that at least we can have that balance of confidentiality with the law enforcing forces, because when they have that tribunal which can address the issues which the public cannot be able to address directly, I think is the right time for them to come and play the role as the arbitrators of whatever is going to be presented upon them. I thereby support the same, Mr. Speaker.
The Honorable Professor Nikal.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to support the report of the committee. Mr. Speaker, what we used to know as NGOs or the public service organizations now are actually an important part in a democratic society. Mr. Speaker, they offer charity in service delivery. Very often, they do the most public education on all matters of public interest. They lobby when we have new policies, when we have new laws. Many times they are the first to actually draw attention to public interest in those issues. And therefore, they are very important politically, and to that extent, they are also very controversial. Often they are funded from foreign sources, and again, that puts them in controversy, particularly when we want to pass laws or we want to do things that are not supported by the public. So, Mr. Speaker, the need for a tribunal for them is important because they'll face many criticisms. They'll face many criticisms. So they'll be accused of many things. And sometimes they may also do things that are not public interest. So this tribunal is extremely important. The team that has been proposed, according to the committee report have actually gone through the correct process. Each has been found to be suitable, the educational requirements, professional requirements, and experience. I have had opportunity to interact with some of them, particularly the proposed chair, and this is a lady of great integrity, great industry, and I've seen how she can lead public organizations. I think she'll do a good job. With that, Mr. Speaker, I support.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. I rise also to support this progressive act through JLAC under the stewardship of very able chairperson, Honorable Murugara. I want to say this one will create a very good atmosphere in matters of taming the sector. When you look at the nominees, they are people of high credibility, people of integrity, and I believe the lady who has been nominated as the chair will be very able to rein the sector and more importantly to serve the Kenyans with integrity that is deserved. Mr. Speaker, I want to support this act and we expect that the members will do what it pertains for the membership and the tribunal. Thank you, Speaker.
There being no further interest, Honorable, the mover to reply.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Allow me to thank everybody who has contributed to this motion. The support was overwhelming. I confirm that the act came into force in 2013, but we have not had this tribunal established. And this is the right time to do it. Mine finally would be to congratulate the 5 members and ask them to go and perform their duties diligently. Kenyans are waiting for them to receive that justice which is supposed to come from this tribunal. Even if it is quasi-judicial, it will have to deliver justice to all parties that go before it without fear, favor, or any ill will. So with those remarks, Honorable Speaker, I beg to reply.
Thank you, Chair. Under the circumstances, I now put the question that taking into consideration the findings of the Departmental Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs in its report on the approval hearing of nominees for the department for appointment as a chairperson and members of the Public Benefits Organization Dispute Tribunal laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, the 17th of June, 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Section 50 of the Public Benefits Organization Dispute Tribunal Act of 2013 and Sections 3 and 8 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act, CAB 7F, approves the appointment of the following persons to the Public Benefit Organization Dispute Tribunal. Roman 1, Ms. Eunice Adoyo Otieno Arwa, chairperson. Roman 2, Ms. Christabel Mideva Eboso, member. Roman 3, Ms. Elizabeth Mbithe Mulwa, member. Roman 4, Dr. Leonard Kinyulusi, member. And Roman 5, Mr. Mohammed Sheikh Noor, member. Will as many have contain A? The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 16, the County Public Finance Laws Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 39 of 2023, second reading.
The Chairman, Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning. Proceed, the Honorable Udenge.
Mr. Speaker, I wish to move that the County Public Finance Laws Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 39 of 2023, be now read a second time. Mr. Speaker, This is a fairly simple bill, Mr. Speaker, because we are seeking to give the county assemblies financial autonomy, Mr. Speaker, by creating what the bill is calling County Assembly Fund, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this bill, as I've said, establishes the County Assembly Fund. It also defines the administration of the fund under Clause 5, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, says what the fund will be able to fund, Mr. Speaker. And also the monies that will be contained in the fund, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it also gives the controller of budget the powers to be able to be, the bill is calling it fewer rights, to be able to be checking the account, Mr. Speaker, to avoid corruption, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, what will happen is that for every county assembly, they will create what we call the county assembly fund, Mr. Speaker, and this fund will be maintained in the Central Bank of Kenya, Mr. Speaker. Number two, the administrator of the fund shall be the county assembly clerk, Mr. Speaker, who can also designate another member to be the accounting officer. Number three, Mr. Speaker, this account shall be withdrawn without the approval of the controller or budget. Mr. Speaker, I think for a very long time, counties have worked, county assembly of the county governments, Mr. Speaker, and no independence, because the moment you rely on the person you are oversighting to give you money, Mr. Speaker, they'll be controlling you from behind through the financial disbursement, Mr. Speaker. So this bill, I think, is a very progressive bill, which will now financially to be able to do their job well, Mr. Speaker. We are also saying, of course, the monies will go to the county treasury. But in this bill, we are saying the county treasury must, and not later than 15th of every month, must send the money to the county assembly fund for the purpose of the county assembly, Mr. Speaker. So I think if we pass this bill, our county assemblies will be able to better do their oversight role, their representational role, their budget role, legislation role, Mr. Speaker. So I think I want to propose to this House that we pass this bill. We make it county assemblies more independent. We are even saying, even if the money is not used, Mr. Speaker, for one reason or the other, that money shall still remain in the county assembly fund for the purpose of which they had been budgeted for. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to support and ask members to support.
You want to move?
I move, Mr. Speaker, that I request members to support, Mr. Speaker, and I want to request my colleague, Honorable Irene Mayaka, to second, and members, let us support our county assemblies.
Yes, Irene Mayaka.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, it gives me an honor and privilege to actually second this motion, which is the Senate Bill.
It's a bill. It's a bill, not a motion.
Sorry, Senate Bill number 39 of 2023 that seeks to actually give county assemblies autonomy that will give them independence. Honorable Speaker, I say it's a privilege because I am a previous member of County Assembly. And in my experience when I was at the County Assembly of Nyamira, there was a lot of push in the County Assembly forums for MCAs to be able to have this autonomy. The second reason, Honorable Speaker, is because currently, and I know a majority of members and public have witnessed what is going on in the County Assembly of Nyamira, where the County Assembly MCAs, the County Assembly Secretariat have been totally put on the ground for the last 9 months, unable to even pay salaries for both the MCAs and the workers of the County Assembly. And this has been extremely frustrating for that particular County Assembly. I have also seen many other county assemblies being frustrated by the county executive because they do not have autonomy. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, just when you just look at the particular laws, because this county public finance bill is not a finance laws amendment bill, is looking at the whole spectrum of amending
the various acts that are very necessary so that there is no loophole that is left in law. Honorable Speaker, it is seeking to amend Section 2 of the County Assembly Service Act, Section 31 of the County Assembly Service Act, Section 32 of the County Assembly Service Act, County Assembly Service Act, Section 34, and very importantly also, Honorable Speaker, the Public Finance Management Act, where we are inserting Section 109A to E and Section 119, which are very fundamental in one, establishing the fund, management of that particular fund, and how the controller of budget also comes in terms of just ensuring that there's proper utilization of funds. Honorable Speaker, when you look at the specifications of this particular amendment, which I want to take a bit of time on, is that it is helping to establish this, the specific purpose of this fund. Section 109B is looking at how this fund is going to be utilized. Section 109C is looking at how the monies will be retained within the fund. Section 119 is looking at the viewer rights. So the control of budget shall have viewer rights into this particular fund. An Honorable Speaker, also very important, is that there is Section 136 that has also been inserted that also looks at if funds have not been utilized, the appropriated funds that have not been utilized, how they will go back to Exchequer. Honorable Speaker, this particular one, I just want to urge the members of County Assembly and the County Assembly clerks, who will be the key administrators of this fund, to ensure that we do not have situations where monies that have been appropriated are going back to Exchequer. Because, as I said, this is something that they have really fought for a very long time. An Honorable Speaker, just to gainsay some of the advantages that this is going to do. One, from the angle of giving them independence from the executive, so that they may be able to take on their key responsibility as established in our constitution as members of County Assembly, and do proper oversight to the executive without feeling like they have to be dependent on them or they have to hold back when they're doing oversight, just because they're dependent on ensuring that the executive, which currently has the power of the purse in county government, is happy, so to speak. The second one, Honorable Speaker, is increase of public participation, because currently, as it stands, members of County Assembly and the County Assembly Secretariat are not able to do direct public participation. They have to rely on the executive. So, Honorable Speaker, a case in point, for example, when they are administrating the budget in county assemblies, they have to wait for the executive to give them funds for public participation. And so most of the time, they're not able to actually ensure that they're taking into consideration the direct requests and the direct community engagement, because they have to ensure that the person who has the power of the purse is made happy. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, just to save time and also allow other members to support this, I think I just want to encourage the members to really support this. The members of County Assembly have been looking for this particular empowerment since devolution began, since the establishment of the 2010 Constitution. So this will be a landmark law that we are giving to the county assemblies, and not only to the county assemblies, Honorable Speaker, as I finish, but also to the members of public. Because remember, in terms of administrative, political administrative in this country, county members of county assemblies are at the lowest level in terms of the wards. So enabling them to be able to have funds that give them autonomy, to be able to serve members of the public right down to the county wards is not only is not only this House and the Senate giving the country a law that is very significant, but also we are creating a legacy that is going to help and strengthen devolution beyond our period as members of Parliament. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, with those remarks, I do second. I thank you.
Honorable members, I now propose the question that the County Public Finance Laws Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 39 of 2023, be now read a second time. The Honorable Mutuse, followed by the Honorable Nyakundi and the Honorable Makalimul.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, from the onset, I am very passionate about this legislative proposal. Passionate because this is one of the most progressive things that the 13th Parliament will have done for this country. So because this legislative proposal breathes life to the objectives of our new constitutional order that we bestowed upon ourselves in August 2010. One of the key objectives that is contained in our new constitution is devolution. And Mr. Speaker, the second tier of government this afternoon received 415 billion Kenya shillings to take care of its operations, both recurrent and developmental. And Mr. Speaker, you will realize that at the county level, many governors have been personalizing the governance at that level, and they have been behaving as if they are demigods. And county assemblies, by the very creation of the constitution, are required to provide checks and balances. They are required to provide oversight so as to ensure good governance, accountability, and transparency in the manner in which the funds that this House has appropriated are managed at that level. But Mr. Speaker, that objective has been fundamentally in terms of the execution of that mandate, it has been undermined. The chair of housing had interrupted me. Is fundamentally undermined.
The Honorable Chair of Housing, Imrua Dikir.
Is fundamentally undermined.
Don't distract the good.
Because governors have been treating the funds that go to their counties as if they are funds from their own groceries. They are funds that are personal to them. And county assemblies have not been getting their due share, even after budgeting and approval of their finances. The Speaker, you know, if you send a watchdog to watch over the funds at the county and the watchdog itself is not well fed, the likely outcome is that the watchdog will be compromised. And therefore, the proliferation, the corruption is partly to be blamed on the lack of financial independence of the county assemblies that we are giving this afternoon. Mr. Speaker, I am also aware that in many incidences, the wrangles that happen in the counties between speakers and governors, between county assemblies and governors, sometimes have everything to do with management of finances. County assemblies, every other time they exercise their oversight mandate, either by inviting members of the executive for accountability purposes, the resultant effect, the reaction by the executive is always to withhold funding to the county assemblies. And therefore, this afternoon, it behoves upon every Kenyan to support the legislative proposal that is before us, so that county assemblies may have the independence, may have the financial independence. And this financial independence will also lead to decisional independence. It will lead to increased checks and balances and oversight. Mr. Speaker, there are those who argue that county assemblies should not be given financial independence because they are not able to manage the finances. And I totally disagree with them, because this is a school of thought that wants to micromanage institutions. The framers of our constitution, their wisdom was that at that level, there needs to be two distinct bodies, two distinct branches of government, the executive and the legislature. And just like at the national level, it is important that the county assembly, being the second arm of government at the county level, has financial independence. And therefore, I want to thank the Senate. I want to congratulate our own committee led by Kimani Kuria, and here in the House by Ambassador Lagat, and ably seconded by my sister from Nyamira, that we process this bill as quickly as possible, so that as we begin this new financial year, this September, as the President assents to the appropriations bill and funds begin to be disbursed to counties, the monies for county assemblies will no longer go through the county executive in the new financial year. That county assemblies will get their money directly from the national treasury, and the necessary checks and balances as stipulated by the controller of budget, and also Auditor General reports will apply in terms of accountability at that level. Members of county assembly also, to whom much is given, much is expected, as I conclude. And therefore, because you have fought for financial autonomy for now about 12 years since devolution came in 2013, and it is coming to you. Today, I read the mood of this house to be that we will approve. As it comes to you, you are also required to exercise, to demonstrate that you are worth managing your own finances, that you were not fighting for it because you wanted to fill your tummies. You are fighting for it because you wanted to promote good governance, you wanted to promote devolution, and you wanted to exercise independence so that the finances, the taxpayers' money that comes to the counties can have more benefit to the people at that level. And Mr. Speaker, for that reason, I support.
The Honorable Nyakundi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to also say a word on the County Public Finance Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 39. This is one of the most progressive bills that the 13th Parliament will be remembered for. As you know, the county assemblies have fought for the autonomy of the county assemblies have fought for their autonomy for the last 12 years. And out of that, most of the county assemblies have not been able to oversight the governors as they are required to oversight, because most of these governors have kind of made the funds that come to the county assembly like their own funds, making sure that the members of county assembly are following them so that they can be able either to get development in their constituencies or get something. Most of the MCAs have been made slaves of most of these governors. If there's one bill that I am very happy today to discuss, and I hope that this House will be able to pass this bill as fast as possible, is this County Public Finance Bill of number 39. Because for sure, most of the MCAs, we have been complaining here how most counties are not doing their roads. Most people are complaining because Most roads are not being done. If you go to the county, to the constituency right now, every member of parliament is being told, kindly make this road, make that road. It is because most of these governors are not doing their job, and the MCAs are not able to be accountable because they're either scared of the governor, or they are scared the governor will not be able to do development in their area. I can give you a good example. If you go to Nyamira County today, Nyamira County has 2 speakers. Nyamira County has 2 clerks. For the last 9 months, they've not been able to move because they have 2 speakers. One who is in the county assembly, and another one who's operating from a hotel just close by. And I want to thank the Senate and the Honorable Kimani Kuria for bringing this bill. If there is a bill that will change the things that we see in our county assemblies, is this bill. And I want to also put a word that I'm so impressed because this bill has said that by the 15th of every month, the money that is supposed to go to the county assemblies should go to the county assembly. And in case they do not spend the money, that money will remain there, and even the control of budget will be able to oversee how the counties are spending the money or are spending the resources that are coming to the county government. Just the other day, just today, we passed the mediation bill, and about 415 billion Kenya shilling is going to the county government. I can now clearly see how this money is going to be spent prudently compared to other times. And we want to tell the county governments, kindly make sure that the resources that are coming to you, the resources that we have bestowed to you as the National Assembly, is used appropriately. Let the roads in the county, the roads that belong to the county government, make sure that the roads are passable. Make sure that the hospitals, the level 4 hospitals, the level 1, level 2, level 3, are equipped with medicine. Make sure they're equipped with facilities so that our people back at home can be able to get the medical attention that they require. Like right now, most people are telling us about water. They want water in our various homes at home. But water is a devolved function. And if you go to my place, you cannot see even one borehole or a last mile connectivity of water in any area in my constituency. For the last 2.5 years, I've been a member of parliament. So if there's one bill today, I sit here and a happy man. And by the time we are finishing my 5 years, I'll go home and say, if there's one bill that we passed as this house, is the giving the county assemblies autonomy so that they can be able to run freely and smoothly. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity.
The Honorable Dr. Makali.
Yeah, thank you so much, Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity. I want to join my colleagues in appreciating this bill, Honorable Speaker. Being a Senate bill, to me, this bill is of much interest. Honorable Speaker, if you look at our constitution, it is clearly stated that the Senate exists to serve the interests of the counties. And even though this bill we are discussing today, for me, I think it's long overdue. This should have been one of the bills which the Senate should have processed as early as 2014. Why am I saying that, Honorable Speaker? Honorable Speaker, if you take the example of this House and the Executive, the reason why we are able to carry out our programs and activities with a bit of success, Honorable Speaker, is because we control our own resources as the Parliament. And when we talk about financial autonomy for the counties and more so county assemblies, Honorable Speaker, this debate has been really with us for a long time, just as the debate on what we call the World Fund, the World Development Fund has been with us. And I see a situation now we are likely to do away with one of these after this bill passes, and then we remain with the law on World Development Fund. But Honorable Speaker, just a few observations, Honorable Speaker. The truth of the matter is, if you are not financially independent, you are not likely to be also independent in terms of decision making. Because if you are relying on the county executive to finance your activities and the programs, automatically then you are not likely to have that freedom to stand your ground and say this is wrong. So, Honorable Speaker, the fact that now we are seeing some attempt to get the county assemblies becoming financially independent, this is something we should support as a house. It's good that we are talking about a county assembly account, a county assembly account, that we are going to have an account where the money for the county assemblies will be sent to after we pass the budgets. And I see it happening like it happens with us, Honorable Speaker, where these county assemblies will be able to present their budgets to the Budget and Appropriation Committee at the county assembly, just the way Parliament does to the Budget and Appropriation Committee of this House. And by doing that, once their budget is approved, then those resources should be sent to their account for purposes of utilization. Another interesting issue, Honorable Speaker, is the issue where we are saying the control of budget, just like he does with all the other money drawn from the consolidated fund, will be in charge in terms of budget monitoring to ensure that the resources are applied to the relevant activities and the programs. And Honorable Speaker, the control of budget over time has been complaining that at times you would approve money for different activities and you end up this money being paid for different activities. So I think really the idea of bringing the control of budget is to make sure that whatever money is approved by the control of budget, then will be used for the intended purpose. And that's why it becomes very important, so that county assemblies can do their work as expected in the constitution, because they have a constitutional mandate. But I would want really the chairs, when the chair was moving this bill, there's something he said which I don't know whether it was an omission or it was just is what is in the bill. That he says the money which is paid to the county assembly accounts will be not, once the year ends, it's rolled over, the way we do the CDF. I think that's an area we need to get it right, because even in this Parliament, Honorable Speaker, we don't get our budgets rolling over to the next financial year. Come 30th June, all the money which is not spent is expected to disappear from the books. And that is aligned to our new policy of doing zero-based budgeting. So that once you say you roll over, then you are killing the spirit of zero-based budgeting. So I think that's an area we might need, when we go to the third reading, we might have to think about that fact, that we ensure the money is spent on annual basis, because our budgeting process, Honorable Speaker, is annual but 2 years rolling. So you have what you call the annual year, but the other 2 outer years, which you, for purpose of budgeting. So it should be like that, so that if the assemblies are not able to spend their money by the 30th June of every year, just like another government institution, then automatically they should provide a justification for the next financial year, so that, Honorable Speaker, we don't cause confusion to our financial management issues. And Honorable Speaker, basically, I don't think there is much to say about this, but this is a very exciting moment. I wish this moment came about 9 or 10 years ago, so that today we would have county assemblies who are independent, because the problems we are seeing with corruption in the county executives, Honorable Speaker, is basically because our county assemblies don't have really what it takes to say no to some of the things happening within the county executives. But with this now financial autonomy, they will be able to say no and still carry on their activities. So since their role is just like ours, legislation, representation, and oversight, now we think with the introduction of this financial autonomy, they should be able to carry that role effectively. We wish them all the best as now start the new journey with financial independence. Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker.
The MP for Luanda, the Honorable Mungu.
Thank you very much, Speaker, for the opportunity given that I may also add my voice to this very, very important piece of legislation. Mr. Speaker, allow me first and foremost thank them that came with the idea of having the county assemblies independent. Since devolution came into existence some 13 years ago, we have, as a country, we have been able to deliver, rather to send a lot of funds to the counties, Mr. Speaker. in trillions to date, 13 years down the line. In this current regime, I was just trying to check, Mr. Speaker, the government has been able to disburse over 1.2 trillion shillings to counties in terms of devolved funding. And this bill comes at a time where we have just been able to pass 415 billion allocated to counties, Mr. Speaker. But one of the greatest weaknesses we've seen all along is that the county assemblies, which are supposed to oversight, which are supposed to keep an eye on behalf of the common mwananchi over these funds, has been limping, Mr. Speaker. Limping because they have been depending on the executive, the county executive, to facilitate, to ensure that they're able to do their work. And therefore, the idea of having a county public finance law, Mr. Speaker, is such a brilliant idea because it will go a long way in ensuring that all the funds which are devolved, all the funds that are sent to our county, Mr. Speaker, are properly oversighted. Mr. Speaker, just like in the national government, we have parliament which is independent, having its own budget. We have judiciary which is independent, having its own budget. We have the executive, Mr. Speaker, who have their own budget. None of this, Mr. Speaker, will actually be impaired or rather fail to exercise or to do its duty because of lack of resources. But on the other side, Mr. Speaker, on the second tier, where the county governments have been, Mr. Speaker, we find a situation whereby our members of county assemblies for a long time have been crying, for a long time have been asking that we have a position which can actually make them empowered enough to oversight the county, Mr. Speaker. We all agree, Mr. Speaker, that huge sums of money have been devolved to the county governments, but yet we didn't give the MCAs enough teeth to bite. We didn't give our county assemblies enough power to ensure that they're able to oversight. What has been happening, Mr. Speaker, is that in some counties, the county executive, Mr. Speaker, has been micromanaging, sometimes holding the purse, sometimes frustrating the work of legislation and oversight of the county assemblies by ensuring that they are not facilitated. And therefore, to me, this bill comes at the right time, Mr. Speaker, that will therefore will therefore give the right energy to our assemblies to ensure that the county governments are oversighted, Mr. Speaker. Autonomy is one thing that these members of county assemblies have been telling us all along, Mr. Speaker, including in Vihiga County, where I come from, Mr. Speaker. Our assembly has about 36 members. One thing they have been talking about is that we are able to ensure they are independent. We are able to ensure they have autonomy. We are able to ensure they are able to do their work without any fear or favor because they are properly protected, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, making them independent, to me, is a great gain, Mr. Speaker, and I want to believe and pray that this will go a long way in ensuring that our funds at the county level are properly oversighted, Mr. Speaker. One thing I like about this bill is that the county executive will not be doing it at its whims. They have been given specific deadlines within which these funds must be given to the assemblies, Mr. Speaker, 15th of every month. Meaning
it's not the county executive that controls that. It is the control of budget.
The control of budget. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for that.
So the actual independence itself of autonomy is total. That money doesn't go through, as far as the bill is concerned, through the county government.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
It's in line with exactly how we do it here in the National Assembly.
Exactly. Okay. So that was, Mr. Speaker, is a great deal. And all I may ask is that now that these funds, we have a clause that says, Mr. Speaker, if these monies are not spent, we should not even envisage a situation whereby at the end of the financial year, funds have not been spent because of maybe lack of flair of the accounting officers. What we need to ensure that these funds are given to the assemblies and they actually spent so that they are not rolled over, as Mheshimiwa Daktari was actually alluding to. Therefore, I stand support and say that this is a great gain that will go a long way in ensuring that devolution works. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Wako, Naomi Wako.
Yes, we say wako with a K.
Yeah, Wako.
Q, not K.
Serious?